Hi guys, my name is Alex de Leon, and I am from the Bay Area in California. And I wanted to just share my story with you guys. So in 2013, my husband and I lost our daughter, Gabby, to HELLP syndrome at 24 weeks of pregnancy. I had what I would consider a pretty normal pregnancy. It was my first, so of course I didn't know what was normal or what was not normal in this case. And on May 15th, and this was in 2013, I had an ultrasound followed by a doctor's appointment. And the tech had checked, she had checked everything for the baby. She checked measurements. And I remember her asking how far along I was. And once I told her, she said, well, why don't you go ahead, go upstairs. I'm going to call your doctor, let her know you're on your way. At that appointment, our doctor let us know that Gabby was measuring 3 weeks behind, and was following day, we met with a maternal-fetal specialist at a different hospital that was about 35 minutes away from my house. And that appointment was everything. The nurse checked my vitals and my blood pressure was high. And I just remember brushing it off and telling her, we got really bad news the day before and I got no sleep. I'm tired, I'm stressed. And she's like, okay, well, why don't we go ahead and, we'll wait a few minutes, we'll check it again. Checked it again and my blood pressure was still high. It was the normal high, I guess. It was literally 140 over 90. So it wasn't higher. It was just at that mark right there. And she sent me home with a blood pressure kit and protein strips. And we had a nurse calling us twice a day to get those numbers. Again, preeclampsia wasn't mentioned. And so I was very curious why we were doing all of this. And then on May 18th, around 10 p.m., I started feeling horrible abdominal pain. And I knew something wasn't. And my labs were normal, so they were not sure what was causing the pain. They then transferred us to the other hospital, which was about 25 minutes away. And it was there when I was told that I was developing HELLP syndrome and needed to be induced. Within hours from that diagnosis, my health began to deteriorate. My organs were shutting down, my platelets started dropping, and I was bleeding from my gums. I had an ultrasound tech after I had gotten my epidural. I had an ultrasound tech come in and she was going to be checking my liver, and she pulled the sheets off and discovered that I was laying in a pool of blood from the epidural placement. And I, to this day, think that she's the one who caught it and essentially saved my life. I was immediately taken into surgery, and because the doctor had suspected liver rupture, and thank God that wasn't the case. Gabby was born on May 19th, and she was actually smaller than they thought she was. I had placental abruption, I had DIC, I had renal failure, respiratory failure, and I was put on a CPAP to improve my breathing. I also had multiple transfusions. And after that, the doctors had told my family that it was pretty much a waiting game. They said I only had a 20% chance of making it. There's not many women that have the same outcome that we do. Even though we lost Gabby, I'm still here. And I can say that I'm an advocate for preeclampsia awareness. I had two children following Gabby, Josiah and Jasmine. And those pregnancies, I, luckily knew what to look for. In my case, because I learned about the symptoms and I listened to my body, I knew what to look for and what to mention to doctors when I had those appointments or those fears. And I guess what I can say out of this is that I want, women to be taken seriously.